Welcome everyone to The Gavel. I'm Terry Ikumi. We're days away now from the resumption of plenary and full legislative activities, precisely the 6th of May. Now, lawmakers in the House of Representatives have, however, been busy with workshops and committee engagements, particularly the Committee on Public Accounts. Now, the committee announced the retrieval of an additional 11.5 billion naira from oil and gas companies with outstanding obligations to the federal government. This new tranche brings the total recovery secured by the committee to 61.5 billion naira. Also, the House Committee on Political Matters held a workshop in preparation for the public hearing on the proposed Political Parties Regulation Bill, which has killed second reading in the House of Representatives. The Speaker of the House of Representatives expressed optimism that the bill, when passed into law, will be a signature achievement for the 10th Assembly, just the way the Not Too Young to Run bill was for the 9th Assembly. So here's a look into that workshop and other activities of members of the House of Representatives this past week.
Thank you very much. Please.
The Chairman, House Committee on Political Parties and other members of the committee attended a workshop in Abuja to brainstorm on the proposed Political Parties Regulation Bill. The Political Parties Bill seeks to enhance the operational mechanism of political parties in Nigeria, a law that the lawmakers hope will help to reduce inter-party crisis and minimize corruption.
Most of the times, one of the challenges we have in this democracy is the role of the political parties, where candidates are emerging during primaries. Without proper regulation, we have seen a lot of crisis. And since we are trying to improve on our democracy, this bill is very, very important.
Other participants also underscore the importance of the bill and the need for lawmakers to consider the overall interest of citizens.
As we reflect on this bill, it is important that we consider the progressive parts of this bill. That the bill in itself may not be perfect, but this bill is desirable. It is desirable because it will reform our party system.
This call for regular Constitutional and Electoral Act amendment to correct the lapses and the ongoing constitutional and electoral review is yet another opportunity to rectify the flaws, thus strengthening our hard-earned democracy.
The representative of the Speaker of the House of Representatives expressed optimism that the bill, when passed into law, will be a legacy achievement for the 10th Assembly.
This is a very important day in the life of the 10th Assembly because we have it that this particular bill will serve as one of our signature of the 10th Assembly House of Reps by the grace of God. Just as the Not Too Young to Run become a signature of the 8th Assembly.
The Political Parties Bill seeks to address issues of registration, regulation and funding of political parties in Nigeria, functions many hope will help to enhance the operations of political parties in the country. Back at the National Assembly, the Speaker of the House hosted some social media influencers at the National Assembly for an event tagged the Speaker's New Media Exchange. Recognizing the role and importance of social media influencers, governance and development, the event was themed Smart Cities and Ethical Media, Navigating the Role of Policy in National Development, and features guests from various sectors.
I think we should strengthen the collaboration between the National Assembly, government agencies and media organizations and civil society to tackle fake news. And this event that the Speaker has put together is a very good start, which should be broadened to include a wider stakeholder base, not just people that are supporting the government in power. Governments in Nigeria have traditionally been woeful at communicating with citizens. Government communication is often reactive, late, and incomplete, leading to a trust deficit with citizens. I recommend that both the executive and the legislature should do more to be proactive, open, and speedy in providing information and engaging with the public. This will help to curb fake news.
We're talking about national development. The other day, I had the privilege to visit Rwanda. And tourism alone constituted or provided that country with over 1 trillion naira income in 2024. This year, they have targeted to realize and rake in over $700 million from tourism. If you want to develop Nigeria, you have a role to play with what you put out to the rest of the world. National development is not only when we come out with a strategic plan for infrastructure, for health, for road, and all of that. No, we, the people, have a collective assignment in this regard.
In his address to declare the event open, the Speaker highlighted the importance of inclusion to democracy.
The House is pursuing reforms that foreground the rights of persons living with disabilities, promote the inclusion of marginal communities, and advance the political participation of women through constitutional amendment processes. Our democracy must be measured not merely by its procedures, but by its inclusiveness. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are pivotal agents in the contemporary information environment. Your platforms serve as a vital conduit for citizen engagements, policy interpretation, and the cultivation of public consciousness. The House has demonstrated its commitment to innovation and youth empowerment through legislations such as the Nigerian Startup Act, which fosters an enabling environment for technology entrepreneurs, and the Nigerian Data Protection Act, which safeguards digital rights.
He reiterated the need for a better approach to addressing internet crimes.
We are not unmindful of the challenges posed by misinformation, digital security threats, and the misuse of online platforms. Nonetheless, our approach shall remain rooted in dialogue, education, and constructive engagement, rather than censorship or coercion. Today, I extend an earnest invitation for enduring collaboration. It is crucial that we work together to strengthen public understanding of governance, to build resilience against misinformation, to provide civic education, and to harness digital platforms for national cohesion and progress.
The discussion segment on national change was hosted by Channels Television's Kayode Okikiolu.
We have enough laws already, all right? We keep churning out new laws that deal with the same thing over and over again. So two things. The new constitution is that when we'll then get a national statement, the purpose of our nation, and then the regulation for social media, and perhaps any other point.
In my opinion, while it's important to have this discussion, I don't think it's the problem that we've got in this country. Amendments can be made. And if we have amendments that's more than 50% of what we currently have, it's like having a brand new constitution that's become a repeal and reenactment of the constitution. So I urge young ones to actually study this document called the Constitution. It's only after you don't just join the train and the mantra of what some influencer has said somewhere that we need a new constitution. You need to be able to speak for yourself and say, this and this is what is wrong with our constitution.
We cannot leave the social media space just without regulation. It is not possible. The truth is, some of us speak today on social media, not because we like to speak, but because we know that the misinformation that we allow to thrive today will become the fact that our children will know tomorrow, even though they are not the truth.
In the meantime, on the 29th of April, the House Committee on Safety Standards marked the World Day for Safety, with a conference tagged The Legislative Perspective, Safety First Building a Safer Future for All Nigerians. In attendance was the Minister of Labour.
Indeed, legislation is central to navigating the digital frontier responsibility, ensuring that innovation, does not erode the fundamental rights, dignity, and welfare of the Nigerian worker. The ministry welcomes this dialogue and emphasizes that the safety of our workers must be anchored on secure technologies, sound data protection, and inclusive policy frameworks that uphold the international labor standards. While acknowledging the effort of all parties towards improving occupational safety and health in Nigeria, we must also be mindful of the need for coordination, social partnership, and the avoidance of duplicative mandates. The National Occupational Safety and Health Management System requires a harmonized approach rooted in the principles of tripartism, where government, employers, and workers' organizations collaborate as equal partners. This ensures that policies are not only technically sound, but also practically enforceable and socially inclusive. The Ministry remains committed to engaging constructively with the National Assembly, social partners, and all relevant stakeholders to ensure that emerging legislative proposals, including the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, reflect a unified, robust, and forward-looking national strategy that balances innovation with workers' protection.
In his remarks, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who was represented, reiterated the commitment of the House to review existing laws and make them more effective in safeguarding public health and safety.
The Nigerian government is committed to play its part in ensuring that safety regulations are not only introduced but effectively implemented. The primary functions of the House Committee on Safety Standards is to serve as a legislative body that establishes, monitors, and enforces safety laws and regulations. We are working to address both the current gaps in our safety system and to anticipate future safety needs. From the workplace to the environment, from the infrastructure to healthcare, safety standards are at the core of every regulatory measure we are putting forward.
The International Labour Organization has, since its inception, placed occupational safety and health at the core of its mandate to promote decent work worldwide. The ILO, with its unwavering dedication to social justice and decent work, views safety and health as a peripheral concern, but as a core tenet of human dignity and fundamental rights at work. The ILO's comprehensive suite of conventions and recommendations provides a universal framework for cultivating a safe and healthy working environment. While these standards are deeply rooted in the world of work, their underlying ethos, the prevention of harm and promotion of well-being, resonates across all sectors and all aspects of human endeavor.
Welcome back to The Gavel. If you followed The Gavel in the past year, you'd have noticed our not-so-new segment, The Breakdown, with the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC. PLAC breaks down legislative processes and occurrences for easy understanding. PLAC can do this because of the several years of capacity building and legislative support it provides for Parliament. So on The Breakdown today, PLAC explains how it has simplified access to legislative and governance materials as well as information.
Now, the committees that PLAC works with include the Public Accounts Committee, the Electoral Matters Committee, the Constitution Alteration Committee, the Committee on Human Rights, Judiciary and Legal Matters. We also work with the Committee on Public Petitions. PLAC works with the Committee on Women Affairs as well. And these areas of engagement with the committee is focused solely on enhancing democratic governance in Nigeria. Now, after this, PLAC saw the need to ensure that information about the National Assembly is put out there. And so following from this gap, PLAC saw the need to create a platform that will provide citizens with the necessary information required as well as ongoing activities of the legislature. PLAC launched its digital platforms. PLAC launched 3 digital platforms which deals with the bill tracking platform, the repository platform, as well as the legislative agenda. And so I'm going to run you through these 3 platforms and how they work. Now, let me start with the legislative agenda tracker. Following the inauguration of the 10th House of Representatives as well as the 10th Senate in June 2023, the National Assembly saw the need to come up with a legislative agenda to guide its affairs as well as the initiative it was going to be carrying out for the next 4 years of the Parliament, which is from 2023 to 2027. Now, the House of Representatives as well as the Senate set up an ad hoc committee on legislative agenda to develop a legislative agenda as well as monitor the implementation. To this need, PLAC saw the need to create a tracker that would look at what the National Assembly has done so far in terms of achieving this set of objectives. PLAC developed this legislative agenda tracker to track the implementation activities that is being conducted by the House of Representatives. Now, the House of Representatives has 8 priority areas that it is focused on, and some of them include human rights, some of them include constitutional alteration, some of them include law reform, it includes national security, and so for all of these agendas, there are objectives that it seeks to achieve. So when you go to the legislative agenda tracker, which has been developed by PLAC, you would see that all of this information have been provided there. And then when you look at the bill tracking website, the bill tracking is just to track bills from introduction to passage as well as assent. So if you're a researcher, if you're a policy maker, if you're a lawmaker, if you're a student, and you really need to know anything that is going on bills that you're interested in, you go to the bill tracking website and you get the information that you need. Now let us look at the repository. The repository focuses just on archiving, resources of the National Assembly. Now, this archiving of materials include the order paper, the votes and proceedings, the Hansard, and you also look at committee reports. So if you're not so sure on the decisions that the National Assembly has taken regarding some information, you can go to the repository website, you can look at the information you want. We have information as far back as the 7th, 6th, 5th, and the 4th Assembly. You will get all the information that you need. www.placsbilltrack.org. This is for the bill tracking website. Now, if you want information regarding the repository, you check www.repository.placlibrary.org. If you're talking about information for the legislative agenda tracker, just go to www.tracknasagenda.placlibrary.org. We've also put out this information out there. There is a step-by-step guide. It also provides a platform where citizens can provide their email addresses and they would get real-time updates on the progress of bills and the progress of any decision that the National Assembly is taking. The whole idea of this tracker is to make citizens aware and also to provide an opportunities for citizens to also get information on what the National Assembly is doing regarding critical legislation. For more information on this, you could keep following our social media handles. We have the LinkedIn, we have the Facebook, we have our X, and then we also have the YouTube where we upload our short videos.
Well, it's now time for Constituency Focus. Honorable Emmanuel Uguru, representing Abakaliki Izi constituency of Ebonyi State, speaks on the impact of his representation on his constituents.
My constituency, where I visit almost every week. It doesn't matter what it costs me to go there. When you are nearer them, You know the way they feel, you know what they need and what they don't need. And like I said, they need employment. And I have attracted over 10. I'm not going to exaggerate. I am the deputy chairman, Federal Colleges of Education. I've given out jobs there. In the Federal Civil Service, graciously, I've also attracted. And in other areas, and I am not, still counting. I am still not idle until I satisfy my conscience. Of course, the need for employment is so much. But when I do my own little, and the people will also do theirs, we're also doing something in the area of empowerment. Training and empowerment is also another source of lifting the people from where they are to the next level of getting to the next standard of their living. So employment, training, and empowerment, they go hand in hand. In my constituency, I am into mentorship of some youths in different fields of skill, artisan. Is another area of employment. By the time they come out of it, they won't be idle. Because we discovered today in Nigeria that especially on the education sector, some people go to read, come out of the university, and they discover the job is not there. So it is our duty to tell them, if you are reading a course, read a course, you come out to become self-reliant. Read a course, you come out to employ others. Don't be waiting for people to give you employment. You can employ. I also have given out 31 scholarships to the graduates. They are out there. If you need their names, I'll give you. It's obvious everywhere. I pay in the university of their choice, not outside Nigeria, but within Nigeria, from different communities of Izi and Abakaliki local government area. My governor, the best governor in Nigeria, to me, was the one who came and launched it by last May, and is counting. This is the second year I paid their fees. I paid their fees, 31 of them last 2 weeks. No, last week, I paid their fees. And that's the second. I pay annually. So I think I'm doing a lot in that area so that my people will be better positioned. When you go to any society and the youths are not as many, then you know there's a problem. In my society, in my constituency, we have over 80% of the youths, meaning that the future is very, very bright for us, especially if the youths are properly positioned. In other areas of, in the National Assembly, we have 3 key issues, which is our primary function. Every other one is extracurricular. One is oversight function. We oversight all government projects. And in Ebonyi, let me tell you, not minding that we are federal government, governor takes us along to even oversight his own projects. We go on supervision. We do a lot of things. And that is what governance should be. He does not know where you are or where you are not, as long as you are an Ebonyi man. That we are doing. I have also attracted some projects, even though those projects, like I said, is extracurricular. Our main curricula is oversight, lawmaking, and our constituency. And that's the reason why I visit the constituency very often. I've attracted boreholes in my area. There's no gainsaying, trying to prove that we are what we are not. And that is why we are happy with our governor, because he is going to the hinterlands. So when he is coming from this angle, the little we can do to complement with what he's doing, we go from the other angle. So I go out to the hinterland, giving them water in the capacity I can afford through my constituency or ZIP projects. I've also built some schools, both secondary and primary schools.
And that's all the time we have on The Gavel this week. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch more episodes like this, please go to YouTube and search The Gavel or go to channelstv.com. I'm Terry Ikumi. Goodbye.